Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about why you should consider listening to this channel for news and opinions about the stock market. Now, before I do that, I want to preface this with a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk about is my background as an investor and how I came to where I am today. Now, at about 23 years old, I was introduced by my father to Dave Ramsey, and I started listening to his radio show, and eventually I found him on YouTube and started watching YouTube videos. But Dave Ramsey's been a very big influence on me as far as my investing strategies go, especially when I was first getting started. I will say his investment advice has worked very well for me over time. I have put a lot of money into retirement accounts that have tax advantages to them. And in my retirement accounts, which I still have, by the way, I have my money in funds. And funds are basically a basket of stocks or a basket of debt instruments such as bonds. And I have invested in those over time since I was about 23 years old. And I've amassed a good nest egg from that. But I've decided a few years ago that I wanted to retire early. And a couple of years ago, I actually started taking action, and I opened a taxable brokerage account. And a taxable brokerage, unlike retirement accounts, don't have restrictions on when you can withdraw money, but you do have to pay taxes on the money you make for your investments. And the type of forms you have to fill out is basically depends on what kind of investments you have in that brokerage. If you have standard investments like dividend stocks, you'll have a 1099. Or growth stocks, you have a 1099 as well when you sell them. But if you have something like a master limited partnership or an MLP, then you'll have to fill out a K-1 form on your profits. And I will get more into those things and more into taxes as videos go on. But I know a lot about taxes. Last year I had to fill out 7 forms for taxes. Yes, 7 forms. Not all from investments. Only 2 of them from investments. But I have a lot of income. I had a lot of income streams that I was making money from, and I have to tell Uncle Sam what I've been doing. So I had to fill out a lot of forms. I'm going to fill out a lot of forms this year too. So, but I'll go into taxes and stuff when I start covering those specific issues. But I've invested in funds for a few years, and I decided I wanted to retire early, and I put money into taxable brokerages and brokerage accounts. But when I started doing it, like I did the same thing in my retirement accounts, but I was getting killed on taxes, man. I mean, it was I noticed that if I got into a higher tax bracket, I'd lose like 3% of my return. That's a lot of money over time. I don't want to be taxed like that. These funds, they sell their stocks to rebalance and stuff, and there's capital gains. You have to pay taxes on that. I just didn't want to do that. And I couldn't get a high enough yield on my bond funds. On my bond funds and my equity funds without getting absolutely murdered on taxes. So I had to find a different way to do it. So I was kind of mulling it over, and then I realized I need to try individual stocks, because I was looking at that it's about how much more tax efficient it is to do dividend stocks as opposed to investing in dividend funds. Now, you can do growth funds, and that's actually more tax efficient than not growth funds, but growth stocks that don't pay dividends. Those are actually more tax efficient. But I only invest in things that pay dividends, and I'll expound on that in future videos. So I started picking dividend stocks, and the first thing I did was I went to some of my ETFs, and I just picked companies that I like McDonald's, Walmart, things like that. Put money into those stocks, and I got killed. Oh, it was so horrible. I mean, it was a real bruise to my ego, because even the S&P 500 and the Dow Industrial Average, which is soaring, my stocks were falling, and I was in the red when other people are like 15% up in the year. It was just horrible, and I felt like garbage because I was picking these stocks, and I thought I was a relatively smart guy. I've been investing and watching investment videos, but I just stunk at it, and I decided to sell all my stocks. And then I went back to funds and the brokerage accounts, but then I started thinking about how I would be getting killed on taxes again. So I tried again, and this time I just picked, I just did the same thing. And I tried again, and I picked more stocks, and it failed again. It wasn't as bad as the first time, but I was still in the red. So I was watching Shark Tank with a friend of mine one day, named Mike. He and I, when he comes over, we watch a lot. We binge watch a lot of series, and we love Shark Tank. While I'm listening to the sharks negotiate with these entrepreneurs, and I realize the reason, one of the big factors in determining whether or not they invest in these entrepreneurs' companies is what they think the company's worth compared to what the entrepreneur is saying that it's worth. So what they think it's worth versus what the entrepreneur says it's worth. And if they thought he was overvaluing it whenever whenever they were trying to invest, they would say no. So, and I was also listening to Warren Buffett videos, and he always says something that I didn't really catch about how you have to be able to value a company. And I took that to heart, and then when I started listening to the Shark Tank, I started noticing a pattern of how they were valuing companies. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but in my next video, I do plan on telling you how I value companies, which is a key in being successful in investing. But I learned how to do it, and then once I learned how to do it, I started applying that methodology to stocks, and it's been so amazing to see how much of a return I've been getting since I have started doing investing that way. And I want to talk about I want to lay out another caveat before I start sharing these numbers with you that kind of tell you how, why you should listen to this channel for my opinions on investing. I do think my opinions are worth something. So the second thing, most people, there's an index called the S&P 500 index, and there's another index called the Dow Industrial Index, and both of these track U.S. companies, prominent U.S. companies. S&P 500 tracks the 500 largest companies in the United States. Most people use the S&P 500 as the standard for how well they're doing with investing. Now, even professional mutual fund managers, rarely can consistently outperform the market. All right, they have trouble outperforming the S&P 500. Now, one of the reasons why you should consider listening to this channel is because I am killing the S&P 500 on returns. I'm killing Warren Buffett's company on returns. I mean, the disparity is so large that it's just ridiculous, and it makes me wonder if I was just lucky or if I'm going to be able to keep this up. So it'll be interesting to see as time goes on. If I stop outperforming these indexes, I will be transparent with you guys and let you know, because I am going to be showing you how my portfolio is doing. Now, most stock pickers will not show you their portfolio, and they will not show you how well they're doing. I used to have people come up and tell me why I invest in stocks and I outperform the S&P 500 index, and I know how difficult that is to do. So I say, well, show me your portfolio, and they wouldn't want to do it. And I think a lot of people who say that they're outperforming the S&P 500 index, I think they're not. I think that statistically, most people are saying that are fudging their numbers. Now, as for me, I'm actually going to show you my portfolios, so you're going to be able to see. So there's going to be an accountability when I make claims about how my portfolio is returning on investment compared to these things. So I'm not just going to be throwing numbers out and not showing you anything. I'm actually going to be showing you my portfolios. Now, in this video, actually, when I give you statistics, I am going to show you on my phone, but I don't have software right now to show like what's on my phone or what's on my computer screen. I don't know how to work that into videos yet, but I am going to learn it as time goes on, and I'm going to start doing that, and that should help improve the quality of the videos. But I am going to show you some statistics about how my portfolio has performed over the past quarter compared to like Warren Buffett's and company Berkshire Hathaway, which has a collection of companies that's invested in, and also the S&P 500. Now, Warren Buffett historically, for the most part, is an investor who has been able to outperform the S&P 500, and I don't consider myself a better investor than Warren Buffett, but right now I'm beating his company on returns. I don't know if that's going to keep up, but right now it's bragging rights. I mean, come on. I mean, who wouldn't want to share that with other people? Hey, I'm outperforming Warren Buffett's company. That's not a common thing. I have two portfolios. Well, actually I have three Paxful Brokers portfolios, but I'm only going to be discussing two in this video because one of them just has municipal bonds in it. My first portfolio is a real estate investment trust portfolio, and my real estate investment trust portfolio has performed 11.87% in return in the past quarter. All right, or the last 3 months really. So yeah, the last 3 months it's returned 11.87%. Now, I have another portfolio of dividend stocks that are separate. And the reason why I keep these separate is because REITs and dividend stocks are taxed differently from each other. And I like to double check the numbers whenever I do my taxes to make sure that the information being sent to me by companies and government entities and stuff are actually correct, because I don't want to be gypped. I don't want people running off with my money. So I want to make sure by doing the math that the information they're presenting to me is accurate. I'll check their records against mine. Now, my dividend stock portfolio has returned 23.36% in the past 3 months. So for comparison, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, actually has lost money in the last 3 months. It's lost 1.71%. All right, so they're actually down when my portfolios are way up. The S&P 500 index has lost 3.11% in the past 3 months. All right, so both of these things that a lot of people weigh their portfolios against are underperforming my investments. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I did to survive the volatility in the market that we experienced in the last month. I'm gonna do that in a different video, but just to show you, hopefully you can see this. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So today, now this isn't in one day. Hopefully you can see this. I hope it's kind of blurry, but my portfolio as of today, since I've started investing in individual stocks, has been up 23.36%. I've been in individual stocks since about November. Yeah, about mid-November or so. So it's up 23.36% today. Not in one day, but just since over time since I've invested. Because the statistics I picked out was actually from a few days ago. So it's a little different today. But they look really good. My REIT portfolio has been up 11.97%. In the past today it's 11.17%. It's been a few days since I picked up those statistics, but basically, so you can see my portfolio is actually performing as well as I am saying. And you can look at the proofs in the pudding. You can look at the statistics for S&P 500 and Berkshire Hathaway. If you don't believe me, compare it to the numbers I just showed you on my phone, and see that so far I've outperformed it. The S&P 500 and Berkshire Hathaway. So very happy about that. Now, is it a fluke? I don't think it is. It's possible it could be a fluke. If it is, I will let you guys know, and then you can decide whether to keep listening to me or not. But I have a methodology for picking stocks that I'm going to share with you free of charge. I'm going to put everything out there because I want you to be successful. And as a believer in Messiah Yeshua, I want to help everybody, whether they're a believer or not. I want to help you have the most fulfilling life possible. And that's really, and I really believe, even if I share all my secrets, a lot of people who are good at this are afraid that other people start doing it and it will make them do worse in investing. If that happens to me, then so be it. If there's like millions of people that know how to value a company, then that's good for everybody, because if everybody knows what they're doing, the market will generate more consistent returns. Companies will still make money regardless of what investors are doing. So, I really believe that by doing this, I think it's the right thing to do. I don't think, if I know how to help someone succeed, I don't believe that I should withhold that information from them. I want to put it out there so other people like you can benefit from it potentially. And I really believe that God's going to take care of me regardless of how much this affects, if this becomes like a really widespread thing. I really believe God's going to take care of me regardless of what's regardless of how many people pick up on my secrets, So my faith is in God, not in myself. So I know that He'll take care of me regardless. So I hope that helps you understand, why I think you should be listening to my videos. Maybe to get some information about investing. And I will be providing an email address soon that people can send emails to ask me to check out like different stocks and different funds. And we'll be able to start talking about more specific issues. So if you made it this far in this video, I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And I will have some links below to my personal Facebook, to my author Facebook page, and to my books. So I'm really looking forward. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how all this is going to turn out. I think it's going to be good for everybody. So if you watched this far, thank you again for watching, and God bless.